Hello, everyone.
This is not Pearlescent Moon.
What?
This is
Sure,
Reaper
though.
Swings. It's Reaper Swings and the Floating Head with a returning guest of Icarus.
Yes.
Hi.
Sorry, man. It's just that's exactly how Pearlescent Moon starts her videos. That's exactly how Pearlescent Moon starts.
Oh, I can hear the echo
Sorry.
somewhere.
That was me. I apologize.
Okay, I was worried it was me.
Nope. That was me. Forgot to turn my phone volume off where I have the stream pulled up.
Indeed.
That is fair. All right. And we have some basic plans.
Yes.
Whoa.
Mainly we need to move the lava farm.
Yes, the lava farm should be in the same room that uses the lava.
Yeah, that would make sense, wouldn't it?
Maybe
Yeah.
just a little.
Instead of having it outside across the river.
Yeah. What's over here? Oh, this is just
Needs
a
to
little
be treed
cave.
up.
We could probably...
Yeah, it's another tunnel.
Yeah, we can probably, like, reroute this a bit and put a room in here and have that be the lava farm.
Honestly, I thought we'd be able to, like, put it somewhere in the same... like, maybe in the wall here.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking, but I still think it would be good if we had access to the tunnel at the back, so...
I wasn't thinking we would block that off.
Cool.
Poggers.
Yeah, not sure if we really need this many furnaces.
I mean... Need? No. Is it kind of nice to be able to spread out smelting across multiple different furnaces so you don't have to wait as long? Yes. Would this be served better by a super smelter? Also, yes. But I don't know how to build one of those.
Wait, what were you saying?
Well, hoppers. We can deal with that later.
Basically what I was talking about was, how many furnaces we have.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. I usually just set up an auto smelter and leave it.
Yeah.
My game is really quiet to me, I just realized, so I'm going to turn that up.
I just got jump scared by the zombie villager again.
Ah, good old Freddy.
Friggin' Freddy!
He's just doing his job.
He's trying his best. It's built-in defense system.
Oh, map.
Yes, I did map.
I should rotate Sans.
I mean, if you want to.
That'd be a lot of work.
It would. It was a lot of work to put it in there. But I think it would be funny if it was right side up.
Fair.
I mean, if that's a thing that you want to do, you are more than welcome.
We have more important things to do, like moving the lava farm.
Yeah.
Yum. Lava.
I'll just start by, like, hollowing out the space a bit, I think.
Okay.
You good? You good?
Yeah.
That is good.
I'm tired.
It's so weird having to cross the river when it's raining.
Fair. Because 1 minute, it's raining. But just a second before, it was not.
Yeah.
Well, it's more like you can stand directly next to where it is raining.
Yeah.
Always off-putting. Have you ever walked far enough that you walk through an area that's raining and then out of the area that it's raining? Because that is weird.
I can't
That's what
say
I
that
mean
I've
about
been-
it being so weird to have it raining just on the river.
But I mean, like, IRL, real life.
Oh. No, I don't think so, but I
Oh,
think I've been in a car when that's happened.
Yeah.
I've gone walking before and had that happen.
Dang, you must be a
Nice.
fast walker.
Nah. More like the rain just wasn't moving very fast.
Faster than the rain, how about that?
Eh. Hmm.
How many buckets of lava, how many cauldrons do we have for the lava farm?
Let me check. Also, it's sunsetting.
Gotcha.
Sure, I guess I'll just drop my bed in the desert. Yeesh. Six.
6. Epic.
Yeah. That was a sharp noise.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry.
Side.
Whistled through your teeth a little.
Yep. I love it when my teeth do that. It's so much fun.
I feel like there's sarcasm there.
There is
Sarcasm here? No.
never.
Aha. Indeed.
I got in trouble with the teacher once because I accidentally whistled through my teeth. So,
Oh,
That's so dumb.
that's just rude. Not you, the
Well-
teacher.
someone else had been whistling, and she just told everyone to knock it off, and I breathed out, and I whistled through my teeth as I breathed out by accident.
Oh, that's unlucky.
Ah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Hmm.
We now have 3 buckets available for moving the lava farm. Or
Epic.
3 more, at least. Which brings us to a total of 5. We will need more than that.
Yes.
Ideally, just 1 more. I don't really have a segue into the next thing for conversation. So, Icarus, I heard that you were interested in giants. Why don't you rant a bit at us about that? I'm curious.
Okay, so I will say I fully believe at some point in time giants did in fact exist. I don't necessarily think they exist now, but I think they existed at some point, which is interesting because it.
I mean, there is certain amount of like genetic evidence for it because there have been really tall people that were documented, like living, like they were around when film cameras were a thing.
Yeah, there's that, but also, so you know how in the Bible they have the story of like David and Goliath, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Goliath's supposed to be like this really tall, really massive dude. Well, that wasn't just like, you know, he was just a really tall guy and David was like a little kid. It was like he was
over 10 feet tall.
Yeah, he was a fucking giant. He's what they would have called a Nephilim, aka the Hebrew word for giants. So Nephilim were supposedly the children of angels and human women.
Ah, from the start of the Judaism book that I can never remember the name of.
Yeah. I cannot remember the names either. So
I found out about that because of Has Been Hotel and someone reviewing lore.
Huh. Fair. I just don't remember it because it's been a while since I've actually read my Bible.
Honestly, same.
Yeah. But no, they were, you know, they were the specifically I believe they called the Nephilim the children of God's children, which most theologists generally believe to be angels because this was pre-Christ. Though there has been debate over that before, but the general consensus is it was the angels. This also happens to be why in the Bible they explain that they decided to flood the earth, like Noah's Ark.
Oh, that's what the whole thing was, to get rid of the giants.
Yes. See, like when I was a kid, they always were just like, oh, you know, it's because people were bad. But no, actually, it's because giants.
Honestly, that does kind of make more sense, and I remember hearing that somewhere else too, like from a non-Christian source. I don't remember what it was though.
Yeah, but yeah, so you know, giants. If you believe obviously in God or in like the Christian Bible, there's proof that giants existed. And that they were what you would have called Nephilim. And it's really interesting because there's also like some people believe that like the inside of the earth is hollow and that the giants live within like this secret hollowed out world in the middle of the earth.
I remember hearing about a hollow earth theory and had something to do with an inside star, and honestly that just sounds like a Dyson sphere.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I'm not sure how much I really believe any of that because like again,
you know, our available technology seems to indicate that the planet is not hollow. So if the giants are living in there, they can swim in lava, and I can see why that might be a problem for us squishy humans.
That would be.
I don't want to mess with anything that can swim in lava.
No, me either. It's like, yeah, no, it's like really freaky. Like there's a lot of stuff. Like some people there's like some people even believe Bigfoot might be a giant. Though I'm not really sure how much actual evidence anyone has to that. That's just more like other like stuff I've heard, kind of rumors of because I looked into it a bit because giants are cool.
Yeah, giants are cool.
Giants are cool. And now my brain's blanking on all other giant information, which is sad because I know I've gone on at least like a half an hour rant to Reaper before in the past.
Yeah.
That you have.
Yeah. Yeah. But there
I
are
mean,
also.
as far as I'm aware, I think something in my brain is saying Nephilim has something to do with like Norse stuff for some reason. I
I think
might be misthinking of things, but yeah, Judaism isn't the only thing that's got giants in it.
no,
So
they definitely aren't.
there is some like cross-national literary precedent for there at one point being giants.
Yeah, there is a lot of different belief systems mention well, just in general, a lot of belief systems have a lot of overlapping stories or beliefs.
Yeah, like the Epic of Gilgamesh straight up having a global flood.
Yeah.
And it has way too many story beats in common with Noah's Ark.
Yes.
Like a
Yeah.
few details are different, but there's just a little too much in common, man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that the Epic of Gilgamesh was the original story. And it makes a lot more sense.
Fair.
Like in that context, the guy that survived the flood because a god warned him about it coming, it makes a lot more sense instead of the version where God's just mad at humanity. So he's going to flood the entire world, and you need to get your family with enough livestock to survive it.
Yeah.
Gonna be honest, that's a poorly thought out plan.
It is. Very
But
much is.
In the story that gets told inside the Epic of Gilgamesh, it weirdly makes more sense. Because it's kind of canonical that one of the gods just got pissy and decided to flood the planet, but one of the gods didn't think that was a good idea, so like got in the way by warning this other dude about it. And this other dude wound up being the survivor that Gilgamesh goes to talk to about becoming immortal. I'm not very good at telling this, and part of me wanted to say spoilers for the Epic of Gilgamesh when it's one of the oldest written stories we have.
If you haven't gotten around to it, I mean, I could.
If you haven't gotten around to reading, it's kind of your own fault at this point.
Well, to be fair, it wasn't originally in English, but if you're interested in seeing a condensed version of it, you can check out Overly Sarcastic Productions' video about it. They do a great job summarizing legends and stuff like that, which is where I'm getting my information from, because the one time I tried to look up the Epic of Gilgamesh, I wound up with a very different fairy tale that just happened to have the same name.
Oh no.
It was. I heard a different version that actually involved a troll who had hidden his heart inside an egg inside a duck in a lake, in a forest, in a mountain range, that kind of thing.
Sounds like the start of a kid's song.
It kind of was. It was part of this story that was by the Jim Henson Company. It was called The Storyteller. It was a series.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, pretty cool series with some very artistic expression and direction and stuff. I really liked it. Very weird. There was one episode called The Soldier and Death. It was good.
Yeah.
I feel very useless.
Yippee.
This is fair. Yeah. But just one thing, I'm still, like, at least with biblical stories, I'm still actively learning the real versions of them because a lot of the ones I learned were the kid-friendly censored versions.
Yeah.
Oof.
And then there's also how much deliberate editing and revising happened with the Christian Bible from the original texts. So, from an archaeological standpoint, it's not the most reputable source of information.
True.
Such as the one dude who gets granted immortality ends up turning into Noah.
Hmm?
One dude, from the Epic of Gilgamesh, the guy that survives the flood and winds up being the only human available to offer sacrifices, so literally every god showed up.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then all the gods got mad at the one god who got pissy and flooded the planet. And then out of spite, he made Noah stand-in, because I can't remember his name, and his wife immortal.
Yeah. I mean, like, yeah.
But I mean, not to talk down on religious texts or anything. Believe what you believe.
Oh, yeah.
Sort of like when people accept fan fiction more than a canonically released story. Like the version of Wish that we didn't get.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not bitter.
No, not at all.
Sounds of barely contained rage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm.
There was so much potential.
It could have been so good!
Could have.
Ah!
And then it wasn't.
And
That's
wasn't.
sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, making the references is all well and good, but you should at least try to be clever with them. 3 epic Mickey, 3 secret Mickeys, really? And I only watched the film once.
Oof. I just decided not to watch it, honestly.
I mean, it's worth seeing as a good bad example.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And it would be a good writing practice thing to rewrite. Here is a poorly executed story. How might you rewrite it to make it better?
I can see it in my head. It's like
Oh, yeah.
It's a writing
Creative
class in the future.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, all right, class, today we're rewriting Wish.
Today, that's a week-long assignment at least.
Yep.
If you want any sort of depth or cleverness out of it.
True.
Oh, yeah.
Today we're starting our project of rewriting Wish.
During
Certainly
our unit of writing movie scripts.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, certainly be more interesting than teachers trying to get people to rewrite Romeo and Juliet again.
Again?
What?
That's been
Again.
rewritten several times. There was
don't
one
even
version
know
where
that.
it was gangs and they used guns, but they kept the archaic speech.
Yeah, that was the version I had to watch for my grade 10 high school class.
Me too, that's why I know about it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But, I was forced to watch the movie, but I got a medical exemption from having to do literally anything else in that unit, luckily.
Dang.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that version was bad, I'm just saying that it was weird, and we should probably pick something else.
It was. I think it's because it follows, like, the original, like, speech, like, to a T. but it uses slightly more modern examples of things to try and make it palatable to like teenagers.
Which is honestly a really weird way of trying to do it. Just
Yeah.
explain that Shakespeare loved to put secret dick jokes into his plays and you'll have everyone's attention.
Exactly.
They'll pay attention because they want to see where the dick jokes are.
Oh yeah. If there's one way to get teenagers into something, just mention that there's dick jokes somewhere.
Yeah.
Can confirm that does in fact work.
Villain, I have done thy mother.
Oh yeah. Well, my thing with Romeo and Juliet is mostly like I really hated it when I first heard the story because I was like, "What the fuck is wrong with these people? This is awful."
Yeah, that's the point. It's a tragedy.
Oh yeah, and
A thing
then
that a lot of people tend to conveniently forget. What's Juliet
Yeah.
without her Romeo? Alive!
Exactly.
She's alive!
Facts.
She's alive and is probably doing pretty good.
Yeah.
And that was what I didn't, know initially because I also was then I ended up looking into it a bunch and I looked at a whole bunch of stuff actually talking about historical context with Romeo and Juliet and stuff like that, and like because there's a lot of things that don't translate very well like nowadays because like how things were viewed was different at the time.
Yeah. I mean, like, benefit of the doubt or whatever and the era and stuff. It would have been a teenage fling if the two families hadn't been so avidly at each other's throats.
Yes, exactly. And that was the whole point, was that their senseless fighting led to the death of two kids who were, well,
Being
they're not
teenagers.
necessarily two teenagers. Two, like Juliet was like 14, 13,
Two
14.
youths.
Yeah.
Youths. And also it's like Romeo literally was using Juliet as like a rebound because his crush got married.
Yeah. I mean, it's understandable human behavior, but that's the whole thing about the tragedy. It's part of what's so sad about it is that it was so preventable.
Yes. Oh yeah, like I will say, I think there's actually a lot of merit in the story if you actually look at it from like not
You don't
as
view
a
it as a
romance.
fucking romance?
Yes.
It's not a romance. It's a tragedy.
Yes, and even more than a tragedy, it's not even a romantic tragedy. It's just
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
sad.
Yeah,
just sad.
It's sad.
It's sad because every single adult in both of those teenagers' lives failed them.
Well, one adult didn't, but honestly, they probably would still be all right if he had
Yeah.
the poison cellar.
Yeah.
The
Floating.
one guy that did his job.
Yeah. Floating, would you be willing to help me get the sheep up the mountain when it comes time?
Sure. I mean, if a wandering trader came by, we'd at least have leads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a lead.
Oof.
This is gonna take a while.
Mm-hmm.
You need to find somewhere where you can farm slimes.
I mean, it doesn't seem to be here that there's a slime chunk.
No.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Oh well. I need to just stop walking in that direction.
Which
Got
direction?
jump scared by Freddy again.
Oh. There. Pat.
Thanks.
Oof.
I pat the ground beside you because I don't want to punch you in the face.
I appreciate that.
It's like, there, smack.
You got jump scared. Punch.
L.
Ah, my nose.
Alright, I'm picking up the glass. And then it'll be time to try and grab a sheep.
What's the glass for?
Sealing in the sheep.
Ah. Right, sheep farm.
Yes, sheep farm.
I was wondering why the sheep didn't have a roof.
Yes. I am a genius!
Dexter just couldn't. Oh, never mind. I was afraid the sheep was going to die.
I mean, you can dangle it as long as you're not... As long as you don't use a rocket when you're flying.
Sheep time.
Eat
I
time.
see.
Up the hill.
Up
With the
the
sheep.
hill.
I just realized I should have started with red. Oh, well.
I mean, you keep in mind the order of things. You don't have to do the rainbow in order.
Besides, gray's not a horrible place to start with.
Suppose.
Eh.
Sheep, I hope you recognize that I am disappointed in you.
I mean,
You sound like a parent.
not a very good one.
I learned from
Oh,
the
sorry, you
best.
sounded like my parents.
Oof.
Sorry, that's a bad joke.
I mean, it's kind of funny. I'm just frustrated with this sheep.
That's valid.
That was weird.
It was. Yeah, you know what? You know what?
My guy, you didn't have to jump back down.
I disconnected the lead.
Do you still have the lead?
Yes. It's just the sheep is trying to follow you up the mountain, but it can't path to you.
2-block high jump?
Yep. Give me a second.
I mean, you could dig out one of the rails. It's just a regular rail.
Would you be willing to... You'll have to come closer so it actually jumps up this way instead of trying to go to the 2-block again. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Sheep, you are exhausting.
Sheep pathing.
Okay, I put a block in place. That should help.
Sheep. Here, sheep.
Here, sheepy.
Here, sheep.
Yo.
Dang it, sheep.
All the tug of sheep is making me think of the song "I Just Want to Be a Sheep."
Ah!
that was the cry of some of anguish.
The Christian summer camps! Keep it away!
I have that on DVD in my house. Oh yeah, yeah. No, one of my early childhood ed classes, we were talking about like children's songs and stuff, and I mentioned that song, and everyone looked at me blankly. And so I then sang part of it to try and explain it, and all of them looked at me horrified. And I was like, "What? What's wrong?" And they were like, "Why the heck is this song talking about heresies?" I'm like,
That's a fair question, I feel like.
Did they
I mean, I
say
guess.
heretics? I remember Sadducees. Not that
Well, I was
any
like,
of us knew what that word meant. They still don't.
might have not been a heresy, it might have been a I can't
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah, Pharisee.
Yes.
A Pharisee, I believe, was the name of someone in authority in the bad church.
Right. I don't want to be a Pharisee because they're not fair, you see.
I remember that line. I didn't
Yeah.
really know what a Pharisee was at the time, though.
No, me either. But I was like just casually like I sung a couple of the lines. I'm like, yeah, Pharisee. I want to be a hypocrite because they're not hip with it, and they're like, why are you talking about hypocrites and Pharisees? I'm like, I don't
Because
know.
it's the lyrics.
I know. I never thought of it as something that odd until all of these people, like in my class, were staring at me in horror at the fact that as children, when I was a child, I would sing this song regularly, and I'm like, I really don't think it's that bad.
How do you turn on hitboxes again?
Narrator, narrator, narrates chat. Narrator, off.
Accidentally found the narrator. Jump scared me.
Yeah, that thing always jump scares me too. I'm pretty sure it's got something to do with G or H. F3G is chunk borders. F3H is tooltips.
Oh my goodness.
Found it. It's F3B.
That. Oh, I guess I reloaded.
Ah.
I was worried I had done something to wreck the game.
So,
Come along, sheep.
I decided, out of curiosity, to search up the lyrics to the song "I Just Want to Be a Sheep."
Uh-huh.
I didn't realize there was a whole line about not wanting to be a goat, though.
I never heard that version.
No, I don't think I did either. But like,
honestly, that's just rude to goats.
Yeah,
Honestly.
but
sheeps are the one that smell the worst between the two.
I mean, yeah, but
like that's why shepherds use a staff. They aren't hitting the sheep with them. They don't want to touch the sheep.
That's valid. No, but it's because they I don't know. Pretty sure there's a saying like goats don't go to heaven.
No, it's a thing about with a metaphor of God's flock, and
right.
someone will come to separate the sheep from the goats.
Right. Yeah.
I think they just had some weird goat prejudice.
I think it might have just been my father who said that goats don't go to heaven. So ignore me on that one.
Yeah, there's been a whole bunch of satanic imagery attached to goats because of that sort of thing. And also some goats are kind of creepy looking, but aside from that, I don't think it's really warranted.
No.
It's a goat.
No, but no.
I'll be back. I need to grab some dirt.
Okay. Did you manage to get the sheep in place?
No, but I managed to get the sheep into that strange room in the sheep leg.
Oh,
I just
sheep
can't
is
get it back
trapped.
up, which is why I need to go get dirt.
okay.
But no, this verse that they're listing that has, like, that mentions goats says, I want to be a goat. Nope. Have things got any hope? Nope. Does that make any sense?
That's
If you're
really
depressed,
pessimistic.
if you're depressed, then yes.
Yeah, it's more the have things got any hope? Huh.
Huh?
I don't know.
Things.
It's weird. Yeah, it says have things got any hope? Nope.
No wonder people usually drop that verse. That is bad writing.
It is.
The heck does that mean?
No
It's like
clue.
Wish. I'm sorry.
Ah.
Another line I've forgotten was
Yes.
I want to be a Sodicey.
What?
A sadrasy. That's how I
Sadressy, there
usually
we
heard
go.
it pronounced. I
Right,
don't know what that word means either.
I can't remember. I knew at one point. A member of a Jewish sector party at the time of Jesus Christ that denied the resurrection of the dead, the existence of spirits, and the obligation of oral tradition, emphasizing the acceptance of the written law alone.
So someone from a different religious group and of a political position.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, because they're so sad, you see.
Uh-huh.
Of course
Yeah.
they're sad. They're in politics.
Who wouldn't be?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, show me a happy politician that isn't acting in order to get votes.
That is true.
I'm so disillusioned with the system.
Same.
Whee!
Whee.
Yeah, I have no
Yeah.
idea how this farm of yours is meant to work.
It will be it'll make sense eventually, I promise.
Okay. I'm just up here holding wheat.
Fair.
Keep the
Could
sheep
you-
from moving too much.
Please stop holding wheat for a second.
Okay.
Thank you. Just gotta
Yeah.
do a thing.
There we go. Your sheep.
Another verse I had never heard before was, I don't want to live in Babylon because all they do is babble on and on.
That's
That
so
doesn't even
strange.
work rhythmically.
I know. Well, it says babble on and on and on.
Yeah, that doesn't work rhythmically.
No.
Because they just babble on. That's the rhythm.
I know.
What you looking at me? I ain't holding wheat.
The thing is,
Freaky
I can
sheep.
see the eye contact because of the hitboxes.
He's taking correct eye contact.
Red, orange, yellow, lime,
But yes,
green.
what my class on
He's looking at
kids
me again.
music, but at the end of the day, what my class on kids music taught me was that I need to learn some non-Christian songs at some point.
You could always go with Great Green Gobs.
Don't know that one.
Great green gobs of greasy, grimy gopher guts, mutilated monkey meat, little dirty birdie feet, rancid eyeballs floating in a pool of glove, and I forgot my spoon.
I'm not actually sure the parents would appreciate us teaching their children that.
No, but the kids would.
Oh, I'm sure the kids would. But my future job relies on me actually not pissing off parents.
Fair. Ow. Accidentally punched myself in the neck.
Oh no.
It wasn't in the voice box. I'm good.
Fair. Yeah. But yes, in my class, they made us all share ones that we knew from our childhood and stuff. And I kept getting weird looks for the ones that I remembered because no one else apparently only had a list of Christian themed ones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hold the sheep.
I am holding the sheep.
Thank you.
I am holding the sheep's eye contact.
That you are. Would you be willing to step over to the behind the other dispenser there? Thank you.
No problem.
I just shove you there.
Just make an uncomfortable amount of eye contact with the sheep.
And
Prolonged eye contact.
Prolonged eye contact.
There you go. You no longer
Thank
have
you.
to hold the prolonged eye contact of the sheep.
Thank you. Let me out. Yeah, it might have been a good idea to start at the other end.
Yeah. Possibly.
Mm.
Hmm?
I've never actually seen the inside of a sheep farm before.
Yeah. Well, it's pretty basic. You got an observer and a dispenser, and the dispenser will hold shears.
Okay. I'm not sure this would work in Bedrock.
Probably
It might
not.
And then down
Then
here,
again-
you've got a hopper and a hopper minecart.
Why hopper
See, Bedrock
minecart
doesn't have hopper
specifically?
minecarts.
What?
Yeah, Bedrock doesn't have hopper minecarts. It's a pain in the butt.
That's... Yeah.
Why?
That is just rude.
It's painful.
Let me down, thank you.
Yeah, I've had to modify so many farms and stuff like that to not use hopper minecarts. It is a pain in the butt.
Mm-hmm.
How do you even modify stuff to do that? Because some things use the fact that hopper minecarts are not full blocks.
You just don't use those ones.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a lot of them that just straight up don't work, but there's a fair amount of them that you can modify really awkwardly, and they work in like a really janky way. It's a lot of trial and error and hoping for the best, and if it works one time, it might not work the next time.
Question, Floating, did you happen to pick up a lead? The lead.
Nope.
Back up I go.
Have fun.
Thanks, I'm going to go pick up a lead. I'm following up on a lead.
Nice.
See, right now all I can think of is songs from The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Honestly fair.
Valid.
Opening number slaps so hard, man.
Mm-hmm. Personal opinion, better than the finale. When
That
they
is
reprise
so
it.
fair.
Man.
I honestly agree.
I really need to watch The Hunchback of Notre Dame again because I only remember the song Hellfire.
That's fair. It's a good song.
Yeah. There's this one YouTuber guy that I sort of watch that reacts to music from movies, but it really bothers me because the playlists he seems to get don't include all the songs, and when he did The Prince of Egypt, it didn't have the songs in the right order.
Oh. Oh. No.
Hey, I'm about to get us 2 more leads.
Did you just find a wandering trader?
He found me, but we don't like door-to-door salesmen.
No. That is
Yes.
going to make things much easier. Also, I have a plan. We can use the minecart system, and basically just one person stays at the bottom and like puts the sheep in the minecart, presses the button to send the minecart up, and the other person at the top we'll send the minecart back down.
Yeah.
Come here, Red.
Honestly, I'm surprised that the wandering trader doesn't charge more after you kill his llamas.
That's fair, honestly.
Disclaimer
Yeah.
for real life stuff, don't go killing people's llamas.
No, that's generally kind of rude.
Yeah, that's mean.
Generally.
No animal cruelty, please.
Get in the minecart. Why are you being so stubborn? What the heck? No, seriously, like, I shoved its hitbox through the minecart.
It's just bouncing off of it.
Hang on, let me try replacing the minecart and see if that helps.
Mm-hmm. Is it because it's a red sheep? I've heard cursed things about the red sheep.
I don't know.
Well, that didn't work.
No.
Sheep? Why?
Hang on, can you hold the sheep's attention? Thank you. Are you okay?
I don't like being stared at.
I'm sorry. I'm
Freaky
sorry.
cursed sheep. Get in the cart. What's wrong with you?
Alright, I got the sheep.
Okay.
Nap, nap, nap.
Sleepy time.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. It worked last time. Maybe that'll work. I don't think it's actually going to because you need to be on top of the rails.
Yep.
Ah! That works. Sorta. There you go.
We're going.
Off you go. And weirdly, the sheep looked like it was blinking.
Yeah, I lost the sheep.
How?
It just disappeared.
That sheep was cursed.
Is it on
Cursed
the mountain?
sheep. Cursed blood sheep.
Ow.
Mm.
Where'd the sheep go?
Here, sheep. Ah! Well, I just got 2 mutton.
Oh.
I think I found the sheep.
Whoops. So, that doesn't work. Note to self.
I guess that's why it was flashing red.
Oh, because it was taking damage as it went through blocks. That makes sense.
Well, I mean, we need to go back down to grab another sheep anyway.
Yep. Yeah.
Nice.
Why
I'm
did the
joining
white
you.
one get in the dang thing? Is it because it wasn't on a powered rail?
Maybe it was because it was. Yeah, maybe it has to be a regular old rail. The easiest way to check that is we've got some spare rails, right? Oh, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Okay, phew.
Yeah, it didn't do anything because it wasn't on a powered rail.
No.
Did you know
Give me
sheep
back my
can be-
minecart.
There you go.
Thank you.
What you were
Did
saying?
you know sheep can be gay?
That makes sense, honestly.
Oh yeah, it doesn't
Honestly,
really surprise me, but it's interesting.
Where?
We're
They
gonna
also
need a new
currently
red
have
sheep.
nearly
Yes, we will.
Sheep also apparently have nearly 360-degree vision.
Wow.
That would explain why the sheep here are wall-eyed.
Yeah.
The
Yep. 1 red wool and 2 raw mutton.
Dang it.
Poor sheep.
Poor sheep. Okay, I've made some minecart rails so that hopefully we can just, like, connect things up, you know?
Yeah. Oh. What color are we doing next?
Uh... Okay, we have 2 white sheep, so...
Yeah, I'm breeding the white sheep first.
Yes, that's a good idea.
And then you can dye the baby red. Maybe
Yes.
it'll fit in a minecart. Got red dye?
I think the problem was it's like deactivated powered rails. I think is why it wasn't working.
Oh.
So I have a plan. We have a spare white sheep now, so I don't want to
Okay.
mess with the baby one because their hitboxes are weird, and will completely sit inside the hitbox of the minecart.
Okay.
It's a
I
good
got
idea
6
though.
eggs.
Come on. There we go.
There you go, sheep. Sheep.
Oh, come on. Aha.
There you go.
There we go. What?
Just in case.
Alright.
Wee.
And now I will go up there and see if it actually worked. Yes?
I have a cart.
Oh. But I'll bounce if I hit when I hit the top. Oh, but that works because then
True.
you get your minecart back.
Just get out.
Exactly. Up we go.
And I'm assuming after red you want the orange.
Yes. You good?
What the heck was that noise?
Sorry. Yeah. I just got lost in thought.
So you growled like a Minecraft zombie?
Yes?
You're very good. You're very good. Please never do that again.
Sorry. Unintentional.
Eh. And yeah, you can just ride your cart down and then... yeah.
Yep.
Orange sheep is loaded.
Epic.
Octon.
Wait, I'm not up there to help you with...
It's okay.
wheat. Sorry, my brain lagged.
Oh, good. I got a lead. I'm doing my best with that.
Alright, cool. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure why, but my brain decided it wants to make dried kelp.
I mean, fair. The red sheep is in place.
Whoa!
Well, the white sheep that will be the red sheep is in place.
Yay! Mm. Nothing like forgetting which direction you're facing and nearly walking off a cliff.
Nothing quite like it, no. Sheep. And it functions. The farm functions.
Yay! I have
can
grabbed
hear
one
it
red
clicking.
dye.
Beautiful. I'm on my way back down.
Cool.
Boop. That is such a weird behavior for minecarts, though.
Yeah. Don't let a mob in when it's on unpowered rails.
Yes.
Yeah.
Back just in time for sleep.
Okay.
Sleeps.
Podge.
Yes.
Good kitty.
Yes. Kitty.
I wonder if there's a way after creating a server to change how many people need to sleep. That way, only one of us would need to sleep in order to pass the night.
See ya. Oh. Oh. I see.
Freddy!
You're right there.
It's just annoying. It annoys me that I keep getting jump scared by it.
That is fair.
And it's not even in a startled bad enough to have a serious reaction type of thing.
Alright, I think, yeah. So I noticed when I sent the orange sheep up, it flashed red for a little bit because it was taking it took damage on a couple of the corners, but I think I've fixed that now.
Okay.
So we shouldn't have damaged sheep anymore.
Yeah, we shouldn't have any more dead sheep.
Yeah, we don't want those.
No. Because I know that we clip through it sometimes when we're riding, but we weren't
Yeah.
taking damage, so it didn't seem to be a problem.
Yeah.
I guess it straight up killed the red sheep when...
Oh, it killed the red sheep because it was clipping through way more blocks because it took up a larger hitbox area.
Yeah, the boat messed up its hitbox alignment.
Yep. Yep, I don't clip into the mountain anymore. Epic.
Yay.
Yay! And minecart's on its way back down.
Yay. Can load up the next sheep. Here
Yep.
it comes.
Hmm.
I must say, llamas with their hitboxes turned on are very intimidating.
Hmm.
Valid.
Just look like turrets. It's freaky.
Yeah.
They are turrets.
I suppose.
Something that would be cool if they added would be a large minecart that could seat 2 people. Or
That would be
two
neat.
things.
Yeah.
Because that way you'd
Ooh,
be able to keep an eye on the mobs that you grab.
Yeah. Please, sheep.
Sheep,
The
sheep.
sheep does not like you.
Yeah.
Did not bring food.
I feel like the feeling might be slightly mutual at this point, but that's okay.
Valid.
I do have 2 wheat.
And we have a wheat farm. Eh.
Hmm.
Haha.
Hmm.
Question.
Hmm.
Would you be willing to just send the next sheep up and then I'll send the minecart back the minecarts back down?
Funny you say that. I already sent the sheep up and was following the tracks.
Oh, I'm sending a minecart down. Is that okay?
Did you already grab the sheep?
I have 2 minecarts up here at the moment.
One of them should contain a sheep.
Yes. The other does not.
I figured that giving you one of these might help.
Thank you.
No problem.
It really will, considering that you want me to give you a push?
Nah, I'm thinking that you might need one of those.
Oh, yes, thank you. I forgot to pick the other one up from the...
Oh yeah, red dye.
Oh, thank you.
No problem. Yeah, that's what I was going for. Later.
Later. Ow.
Oh dear.
I broke my ankles, it's fine.
Not the
Yeah.
ankles.
You're like Phoenix Wright, just walking off broken ankles.
Yep, exactly. That's something you could do. Do you want to rant about Phoenix Wright again? And Ace Attorney?
Are you sure you want to listen to me rant about Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney again?
Yes.
I mean, why not?
I talked about it for like, what, 2-3 hours yesterday?
Yes, you did.
Dang.
Yeah, I'm still sorry that I went on that long of a rant. That was not my intent.
Don't feel bad. It was cool.
You're passionate.
Yeah, because this
Stop
is
apologizing
really,
for being an interesting person.
Yes.
that is. Bleh. No, Ace Attorney is a great game because I don't know. Where should I start? I have no clue. This is a good game.
Well, there is the nonsense with the sprites. The height of the sprites is... Apparently they do a lot of cheating to get things to line up. Like if a character's sprite doesn't line up, they'll just have him stand on a box.
That does not surprise me, like, at all. It sounds like an Ace Attorney thing to do. I will admit most of my interest with Ace Attorney is more around like the characters and stuff like that, and just their characterization, because I think all of them are really great and really funny. And
do you have any particular one in mind?
see, that's hard because like all of them are really great. I think Miles Edgeworth is like the easiest example to start with because like it's Miles Edgeworth, the Edgelord.
Okay, that's perfect.
I don't know. This best way to maybe not the best way to describe him, but you know, because like you see his character, and immediately you know him and Phoenix Wright have a connection because Phoenix says like, "Man, he really has changed," you know, and you're instantly like, just like, okay, I want to know more about this man. And he's like, you know, and you immediately get like this and I don't.
Minecart
Why is-
behind you. Oh.
Yeah.
There are 2 minecarts behind you.
I mean, that works, I guess.
But no, because Miles.
Dang it!
It's okay. I got it.
Miles Edgeworth is also probably one of the characters you see change the most over the course of.
I need
like,
a ride. Thank you.
You were saying, Icarus?
Miles Edgeworth, he's probably the character you see change the most over the course of like the entirety of Ace Attorney, I'd say, since the game's timeline starts when when both him and Phoenix are 24, and I think they're in like 32 in the last game. Don't quote me on that. I might be wrong. They're in their 30s though by then. And Miles probably is, again, like I said, the most character growth and changing. He because when you meet him, he's like, you're initially like, okay, he seems mildly corrupt. Was kind of my first thoughts on him.
Mm-hmm.
He's not, at least not really, not any more so than literally every single prosecutor in their really messed up law system is.
You mean every law system?
I mean, yeah.
Ha.
Yeah. You know, there's him randomly updating the autopsy report mid-trial just to fuck with Phoenix.
Sure.
Like, which, you know, in any single court system other than the Phoenix Wright, like, court system, that would be
Inadmissible
totally
evidence.
illegal. Yes. Honestly, the vast majority of evidence in the Phoenix Wright games should be inadmissible. However,
It's Phoenix Wright.
it's Phoenix Wright. And that's part of what makes them so much fun, especially because, you know, of course you get to investigate. You have to investigate all the trials yourself, which I don't think attorneys actually do IRL. They don't go to crime scenes and, like, you know, go picking up evidence with their bare hands. That's the one that has always kind of slightly just pissed me off, is that it's like, why are none of you wearing gloves?
Yeah. Well, they are. It's just that the pixel color for the wearing gloves is so subtle that you can't tell.
So subtle. Peak
so
of
subtle.
subtlety.
It's like it's not there at all. No, it's, you know, that was always, but yeah, so, you know, he's mildly corrupt and stuff, and it's like weird. Then you find out him and Phoenix apparently knew each other as children.
Mm.
And it's like, oh, there's an actual personal connection. Though Miles seems completely unwilling to even acknowledge it at the start of the game. And then by the end of the second trial, you find out he's really into a kids' TV show. Which mood?
If the writing's good, I don't see why not.
Oh yeah. Like, it's implied that the show used to make me think of, like, because he's really into the show Steel Samurai, is what it's called. And,
Cool.
it's canonical that there was, a different version of that show when they were kids, called the Nickel Samurai that he was into it when him and Phoenix were both little kids. Yeah, so it's like, from like early childhood, which is kind of cool, especially because you eventually learn that he has not really had much opportunity in his life to be a child.
Aw. Sad.
Which, sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, the majority of the first game really is about Miles and Phoenix's relationship and also what is in Miles's relationship just with Law and himself. It's establishing things, but it's also very much the big plot is all leading up to Miles getting accused for murder. Which, is interesting because again, I'm like jumping everywhere, but second trial, the lead actor for the kids' TV show that Miles really likes gets accused of murder. Miles is the prosecutor. Phoenix is defending Will Powers, who plays the Steel Samurai.
Oh.
Midway through the trial, Phoenix is like literally about to lose. He knows that Will is innocent, but he can't prove it at all. And Miles, despite being the prosecutor and insisting that he will always win, helps Phoenix so that the trial doesn't end and he ends up getting that not guilty verdict. And after that trial ends, he comes up to Phoenix and he's like, it would have been best if we had never met again, right? You've saddled me with unnecessary feelings and uncertainties.
Nice.
I'm sure the fandom went nuts.
Yes, because they are like so gay for each other, it's painful.
Yeah.
But Phoenix is just kind of like, I think emotions are kind of like, necessary. And Miles is like, still, it would be better if we had never met. Cute. Christmas Day. Phoenix is watching the news because he's a boring ass man.
I mean, maybe their news is better than ours.
I wouldn't count on that.
I mean, have you ever looked up news bloopers?
True. But no, he's watching the news. He's like, my goodness, why are they still talking about this, this magical lake monster called Gordy, who was named after the Loch Ness monster. Canonically, like they say in it was like, yeah, we named it Gordy after the Loch Ness monster and stuff. And then suddenly the thing.
I thought it was called Nessie.
Yes, Nessie. Yeah, it was named after Nessie. Gordy was named after Nessie or the Loch Ness monster. And then suddenly the news changes and is like, oh yeah, prosecutor Miles Edgeworth has been arrested for murder. And Phoenix's first thought is, Miles would never. I need to go see him.
I mean, understandable. Most people don't want to think that someone they know would do that.
True. But this,
It carries more weight.
It does. There's a lot of weight, and his assistant, Maya, his assistant friend Maya is just like, dude, why are you so obsessed with Miles Edgeworth? Like, he's kind of a dick.
Mm.
And he's like, look, you just don't know him the way I do.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't exactly say that. It's more, you just don't know who he was, or this isn't Miles. None of this is like Miles. And so they go and they see him, and Miles is just like, fuck you, leave me alone.
Mm.
Much more politely though, because he's too much of a proper gentleman to speak like that. But
Yeah.
His first thing, he's just like, Phoenix, you've taken literally 3 course, like on 3 cases. You are basically a brand new lawyer. I'm not letting you defend me in a murder trial.
Mm.
Which is reasonable.
Yeah, that is reasonable. But
Until you
also,
find...
protagonism.
I mean, yeah.
It's a game.
It's a game. And that makes sense until you then find out that he's already asked, like, basically every other defense attorney in the city, and they've all said refuse to defend him.
Hmm.
And he's like, yeah, that might be my fault for, kind of crushing all of their spirits by winning every single case that I had against any of them. Because prior to Phoenix showing up, Miles Edgeworth has, like, a perfect case record. He had never lost a case. The client was always guilty that he was prosecuting. Which is suspicious as all heck, but...
Yeah.
Turns out he wasn't...
It's lawyer stuff.
It's lawyer stuff. And it is actually important, the whole never losing a case thing. You learn a lot more about that in what was it even called? They have like a special... There's a couple of special cases that were that focused that were like bonuses for the first game that came out later. They're specifically made to like show off like the 3DS's capabilities, but they go more directly into the corruption in the prosecution office and stuff like that.
Mm.
But yeah, so Miles is like, yeah, nope, I'm not doing it. And then again, he finds out, nope, no one's willing to take his case. And Phoenix is just like, Miles, you literally have no choice. I'm the only option.
Yeah.
And Miles is just like, okay, fine. I just don't want you involved. I don't want you to see me like this.
Oh,
Mm.
that's
Which
so
gay.
sad. I mean,
That's
Yeah,
sad.
it is.
yeah.
And Phoenix is like, okay, fine, but I'm going to convince you, and he leaves.
Mm.
And he then decides to go investigate the crime scene, even though he's not actually Miles's lawyer yet.
Mm.
Nice.
The detective who was in charge of pretty much all of the cases so far proves once again that he's insanely loyal to Miles for reasons that nobody seems to understand.
Hmm. It's the straight goggles.
Yeah. But
It's the straight gaze.
yeah. Yeah.
As opposed to male gaze.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody's quite sure why Detective Dick Gumshoe is like so certain that Miles is innocent. Like, Phoenix is pleased about it, but he also has no clue as to why.
Mm.
And Maya's once again like, bro, it really looks like Miles murdered this dude. Why are you so dead set on believing he's innocent? And Phoenix is like, you wouldn't understand. You didn't know him back then. And she's like, did you know him in like college or something? And he's like, no, in the 3rd grade.
Heck yeah.
Hey, yeah, some primordial bonding.
Yes.
Because someone you knew for like 6 months in between the 3rd and 4th grade totally couldn't have changed during that time.
What are you talking about? Of course not.
Of course not.
Get in the cart. Sorry.
No, that was beautiful for the context. It's like, yeah, nobody ever changes. Get in the cart.
Yeah. So, they do their whole thing. They investigate the crime scene and they find out that the victim was, I can't remember his name, but he was a lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
The man who was murdered was a defense attorney, to be specific. He also happens to be the attorney that was, he worked the DL6 case.
The what?
Exactly. So the DL6 case is one at that point in the game you've heard mention of like a couple of times, but it's always very vague. The case was never solved. Most of the information on it is classified. It happened almost 15 years ago, as in there's literally 3 days. It will be 15 years exactly on the 27th of December.
Ah.
Yeah, and that's when the statute of limitations runs out on the case as well.
Oh.
Yeah. Suddenly things are getting more suspicious, especially since you then find out the DL6 case specifically is about the murder of Gregory Edgeworth.
Huh.
And Gregory Edgeworth happens to be Miles Edgeworth's father.
Father.
His father. Miles's father died when he was 9 years old.
Fuck. No wonder he's such a ruthless prosecutor.
Yeah, his father was also a defense attorney. Weird. Or at least, because that's the other thing, is that Miles was dead set on becoming a defense attorney when he was 9.
Oh.
It's almost like trauma will mess you up.
Yeah, I know. It was almost. But, so Phoenix is like, I didn't know that my best friend's, dad was murdered. Because, to be fair, what good parent is telling their kid that their best friend's dad was murdered?
Yeah, that would be a weird thing to tell a kid.
Yeah. But he was like, oh, I guess that's why Miles disappeared after that Christmas.
He died around Christmas?
He died on the 27th. December 27th.
Ah, shit.
That is...
Yeah.
Oh.
Poor kid.
That is
Yeah.
rough.
And Miles, I would like to say, is spending Christmas currently in the detention center because he's been accused of murdering the defense attorney who was working on the DL6 case. So now you have your motive for why why people think Miles definitely did it. Because the attorney, his job was, of course, to get the suspect, was to prove the suspect was innocent. And he did. But he was the only suspect. And to this day, Miles still believes that the suspect that got let off probably was the one who killed his father. Or at least...
knowing games, probably.
But because there was a total... Gregory Edgeworth died in an elevator after an earthquake. The only people other than Gregory in that elevator during those 5 hours when they were stuck in that elevator were Miles Edgeworth, who had come with his father that day to court. Again, Gregory Edgeworth, and the bailiff.
Hmm.
Yogi Yanni, I believe, was his name.
It sounds like he might have witnessed the murder.
Yeah. Yeah, except for the part where all of them suffered from extreme oxygen deprivation, and none of them have any memory of the event.
Somebody's lying.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm pretty sure that's not a symptom of oxygen deprivation.
Actually,
It
yeah.
makes you a bit loopy.
It definitely can be. They were trapped in an elevator for 5 hours with depleting air. And they talk about like it's believed that all of them suffered at least some kind of brain damage during the event as well due to the oxygen deprivation.
Send the card after me.
Will do.
But so at this point, Phoenix is like shows up, goes back to the detention center, and he's like, "Yo, Miles, I know why you don't want me involved. It's because of the DL6 case, isn't it?" And he's like, "How did you learn about that?" And he's like, "You really can't keep your nose out of anyone's business, can you?" And Phoenix is just like, "Nope," really proud of himself. And he's like, "Fine, you can work the case, but like, you know, he's like, you're not going to like what you find."
It's a murder investigation.
I know. It's like, yeah. He's also, once again, still flabbergasted as to why Phoenix is so dead set that he's innocent. He's like, "Why do you believe in me so much?" And he's like, "Because I have a debt to repay."
Huh?
Yeah. Phoenix apparently has a debt from when they were in the 3rd grade that he feels the need to repay.
Dang, that's boy loyal.
That is some loyalty right there. Certified farm
Oh, yeah.
fresh. I'm not sure why I said that, but
It's because you're dealing with sheep.
yeah, probably.
Yeah, no, because Phoenix Wright has a policy is that every single case he takes on, he believes his client 100% that they're innocent.
Mm.
And he trusts them 100%.
Ah.
Yeah. Which,
only in fiction.
Only in fiction. It does bite him in the ass in one of the later games, so. But yeah, no, he's. So they go out, they find more evidence, they find out who the prosecutor on the case is. The prosecutor is a man by the name of Manfred von Karma.
Huh.
Yeah. Manfred von Karma was Miles Edgeworth's mentor. And his adoptive father. He adopted him after Miles' dad died when he was 9. And after he went on a 6-month-long vacation. Which, So, Miles is like, Phoenix is like, "Hey, maybe your mentor plans on losing on purpose to help you."
No.
And Miles is just like, "Ha, that's funny. Manfred von Karma hasn't lost a case in 40 years.
Oh.
He believes in perfection. His cases are perfect. He doesn't lose. He is, if you thought I was scary, he is me times 10. No, times 20. Like, literally, he says this in the game.
Yeah, that sounds like that kind of game's dialogue.
Oh, yeah. The game's dialogue is really cheesy, but I love it.
I mean, yeah, cheese is fun.
It is. And again, the character motivations are so good because, like, you're slowly unraveling all of this and you're learning there's a lot more to this DL6 case than anyone seems to think or understand. And there's a lot of missing pieces. You know, suppose, like, Phoenix goes to look at the evidence and there's, like, just massive missing pieces in, like, the evidence. Like, he gets, like, a picture of Miles's dad dead in the elevator. And, you know, they end up going to court. And Manfred von Karma almost shuts them down 5 minutes into their case.
Ooh.
It is by literally pure luck that they managed to make the case stretch out another day. Another important thing, the court system has a rule that no trial can go on for more than 3 days.
Honestly, that's probably merciful to the people involved.
Yeah, but it's
aside
also
from, victims.
Yeah, it's also a pain in the butt.
Mm-hmm.
So now, you know, it's the 26th and they have to gather more evidence. I just got a notification from the Ace Attorney subreddit.
It's hilarious.
Someone tune in!
Yeah, Reddit has a terrifying ability to know whatever my current hyperfixation is and to start sending me stuff from the subreddits, and it's terrifying.
It's almost like it's listening to your microphone.
I know. But yeah, no, so, you know, second day of the case, they managed to go and talk to this other witness they're bringing in. He's an old guy. He doesn't know his own name. He constantly is falling asleep as they are talking to him and trying to learn more about, like, what he saw. Because he saw the murder happen.
But it was in an
So-
elevator.
I know a closed room case, an old guy that
Well,
doesn't
not
seem
the
all there in
DL6
the
case.
head who saw the murder.
He saw the murder that Miles supposedly committed recently. Not the
Oh.
DL6 one.
Okay.
Because this is
Okay,
still
because if it was the elevator murder case, that's the guy was never confirmed dead. And that was
No.
like a major paperwork oversight.
Yeah. Well, so okay, so the but yeah, this old guy, he saw the murder that Miles supposedly committed happen. Spoiler, he didn't, but you know, no, so the murder that Miles supposedly committed took place at midnight or a little bit after midnight on Christmas Eve. It took place on a lake. And and the murder weapon had Miles Edwards' fucking fingerprints on it.
Oh.
Yeah. Now, the reason why is because Miles explains that after, like, the gun went off, he was kind of in shock. He's pretty sure that, like, the lawyer dude offed himself in front of him. Like, and in his shock, he picked up the gun with his bare hand. A dumbass.
Well, you're in shock.
Yeah, I really don't blame him for, like, not...
I don't blame him for being a dumbass.
No.
In that particular instance.
No, I don't either. Like, it makes sense. Like, I'm calling him a dumbass, but no, it made sense why he was stunned. The gun went off close to his ear. Multiple gunshots also went off within a short period of time is the other thing. So, like, yeah. rightfully he's in shock. He is kind of out of it, and he just kind of left without, calling someone or informing the police that, someone died. Which is why he, he got arrested, because he was the only other person seen out there, and then they found a dead body.
Mm.
But yeah, so this old man supposedly saw it that night, because he owns a boat rental shop. He also has a pet parrot named Polly.
Aw.
Yeah. The parrot helps him remember things.
Makes sense.
He also kind of talks about the parrot like it's his wife.
Hmm.
There's a reason for that.
I mean, it sounds like his wife might have died, and that might have been her bird.
Maybe. So again, this dude doesn't know who he is, so nobody else knows who he is. Like, Phoenix at this point, is convinced that this dude, like this old guy, had something to do with the murder. But he can't prove it.
Don't you hate it when that happens?
Or if not with the murder, at least with the DL6 incident, because they asked the bird a question. He was like, hey, am I forgetting anything important? Because they were just kind of trying to see if the parrot could tell them any information the old man couldn't. And the parrot said, don't forget about DL6.
Huh. Ominous.
Really fucking suspicious. Which means this old guy was apparently involved with the DL6 incident in some way. But now, Phoenix has to prove it. And I know I'm not explaining this very well or very concisely because my brain's a little bit everywhere.
Honestly, my guy, I am engaged.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. To be fair, the game doesn't really feed you the information in any way more linear than how I'm doing it, so...
Nice.
Well done, you're being authentic to the source material.
If you mean fucking confusing and convoluted, yeah.
I mean, that's most mysteries.
Yeah.
True.
That's half the fun.
So...
Yeah.
Yeah. So, second day in court, Phoenix manages to prove that this old dude had something to do with the case and could possibly have been the murderer.
You shall be a brown sheep.
Despite the fact that
I saw that you had one more slot. I'm pretty sure the one that's missing is the light gray.
Nope. Brown.
Ah.
Sorry, you were saying
we can put them in place in the meantime.
So somehow I legitimately can't remember, despite only playing this case like literally less than a week ago. I can't remember how Phoenix managed to prove it, but he manages to prove that the old guy could have possibly been the murderer. The old guy then goes missing, as in he literally bolted.
How about that?
Yeah, really fucking suspicious. Especially for someone who apparently can't remember anything. Yeah. But, so they go... So they're given one more day, the third day for this trial. They have one more day to prove everything. It also happens to land on December 27th, which also happens to be the very last day before the statute of limitations is up on the DL6 case. Indeed. So Phoenix decides to go back to the old guy's place, and they manage to find a safe. Now, they had gotten the number for the safe from the parrot, and so they open it because they're like, screw it, who cares about privacy at this point? Like, he might be a murderer.
Yeah, that sounds like
Yeah.
grounds for a warrant.
Yeah. Of course, he doesn't go and get a warrant because he's a dumbass, but, and also, apparently there's no laws in this world, around evidence collection.
Sure.
Apparently. Like, they don't even have to be, like, verified to be true most of the time, which is a thing. But they open up the safe, and you wanna know what they find inside it?
Hmm.
They find a letter detailing for the old man how exactly he should go about killing the lawyer, then how he should go about pretending to be said lawyer and meet Miles to frame Miles for murder and get revenge on both Miles and the lawyer.
Huh.
Oh.
Yeah. And then you go and talk to this dude, his name's Grossberg. He's not really that important besides just being an exposition dump.
Ah,
Nice.
And
an
he
essential
says,
ingredient in games.
yeah, he basically explains that Manfred von Karma, the day that DL6 took place, he was the prosecutor that Miles's dad Gregory was facing in court. So Manfred von Karma we now know Manfred von Karma was in the courthouse on the day that DL6 took place.
Mm-hmm.
We also now know he had a grudge against Miles's father. Because Miles's father proved that Manfred von Karma used fake evidence. Now, Manfred von Karma manages to play this off as like a total accident on his part, but he's still got an infraction on his record. His perfect, spotless record. And the person he used his perfect record was fucking Edward's dad. So that's like stupidly suspicious, especially because then you're just like, why the heck would he take Miles in and like raise him? You know, and then you find out that the note, because they end up showing the dude the note, is in Manfred von Karma's handwriting.
I mean, I can't say I'm surprised.
No. Which means Manfred von Karma is the one who planned out the entire murder.
Nice.
Yeah, and now we know for sure that it absolutely has to do with DL6 and getting revenge, apparently, on both the lawyer and Miles Edgeworth, which is kind of confusing. Why are you trying to get revenge on someone who's 9 years old at the time of this incident?
Some people are just that petty.
I mean, yeah. Yeah. But, you know, at this point, this is when we find out more about the victim of, like, the bailiff who was the suspect, who was suspected of murdering Gregory but got off as innocent. The bailiff apparently lost all memory of the event. He got off on mental instability is the reason he wasn't convicted. And because he also had apparently lost all memory of the event. He also apparently had a wife named Polly who committed suicide while he was in the detention center.
Oh.
So, notably, we now have a man who can't remember things, who has a parrot named Polly that he treats as if is his wife.
Yep.
Oof.
Yep. Yeah.
So that was the bailiff then, huh?
That was the bailiff. The bailiff was the murderer. Now, before they can go to the trial, they're like, okay, there's still something we're missing. I just want a little bit more information on DL6. So they go down to the evidence locker and they're let in. But you want to know who else was in there? Manfred von Karma. And because Phoenix is a fucking idiot, he shows the note written in Manfred's handwriting telling the other dude how to, like, commit the murder. Straight up hands it to Manfred von Karma.
Idiot.
Yeah.
Idiot.
And Manfred's like, thank you for bringing this to my attention. That crazy old man, you know, I told him to burn this letter when he was done with it. And then he tases him. He tases Phoenix, steals literally all of the evidence left for the DL6 case, except for a singular bullet that Phoenix's assistant Maya managed to save.
It
was
was
the
to
bullet.
the assistant.
Oh yeah, she's amazing. We love her. She can also channel dead spirits.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, though so far the only one she can channel is her dead sister, who happens to be Phoenix's mentor.
Oh.
Yeah. She can, in later games, she can, like, channel tons of other people. Also, she also has connections to the DL6 case, turns out.
Go figure.
Because when they were trying to figure out, this isn't entirely important to the case currently, but it's important for the second game. When they were trying to figure out who murdered Gregory, they brought in a spirit medium to talk to Gregory's dead spirit. And Gregory told them the person who murdered him was the bailiff. Yeah. But because the bailiff, you know, got off scot-free, she was, like, the entire art of spirit channeling was entirely disgraced in courts of law after that, because of Maya's mother was that spirit channeler.
Man. She was right the whole time.
Well, seemingly.
There's so much here. So much lore.
It's so much more complicated than it seems like. It seems like we figured everything out. You lay out your entire theory, you figure it out, you manage to even prove you're so close to proving Miles's innocence in court. And then Miles says, Phoenix, I need to tell you about something. And he says, I've had this nightmare for the past 15 years that I tried to convince myself was just a nightmare, but I don't think it was. This nightmare he had was of him in the elevator with his dad and the bailiff. Now, he wasn't lying when he said he didn't have any memory of the incident, because he didn't really, because, yeah, the oxygen deprivation really did mess up Miles's memory. It messed up all of their memory. Also trauma, because, you know, but Miles does remember one part that has replayed as a nightmare every night for the past 15 years. And in that nightmare, he remembers the bailiff starting to yell and argue with his father and tell his father, you're taking up all the air, I need to stop you from stealing my air, and he goes to choke Gregory out. During this, the bailiff drops his gun. And Miles, desperate to save his father, picked up the gun, told him to leave his father alone, and then threw the gun. Now he remembers then a gunshot going off and screaming. And then he passed out. And that is what he's been dreaming of. I'd also like to say his father was killed by a single gunshot to the heart. And he says,
that's real sad.
Yeah, and he says, I think the reason he wanted revenge on me was because I was the one who killed my father. And Phoenix tells him, no, you didn't. I don't believe you.
It was an accident. He threw the gun.
And Phoenix says, that makes sense. Your memory makes sense, except I don't know what it is yet, but there's something wrong with that story. I'd like to say, at this point, the evidence we do have says also that the gun was fired twice.
Yeah, that would be the thing that something's wrong with it.
Yeah. Also, Gregory was found dead, shot through the heart, lying against the wall of the elevator. But there's also a hole in the elevator door.
Yeah,
From
I
a
think
gun.
that I think I'm getting what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything's starting to piece itself together.
Yeah, I'm not very good at solving mysteries, okay?
No, this is like seriously so convoluted. Like it is made to drip feed you information, so you slowly figure it out.
Yeah.
And
Kid threw
this
the
is
gun. The gun went off, firing into the door, and the kid passed out with the two adults yelling about the gun. And by the time that the kid wakes up again, a second shot has been fired straight through his dad.
Yeah. He actually doesn't wake up until a week later in the hospital, actually, after he passed out.
Dang, that's a long time
Yeah.
to shoot somebody.
Yeah. Yeah. But, so they prove they prove Miles's innocence. Unfortunately, since they don't have the letter, they can't prove that Manfred von Karma is the one who set up the whole thing. But the bailiff does admit to having killed like the lawyer and trying to frame Miles, and he says it was for revenge, and he says Miles knows what he did. When everyone's just like, dude, why were you trying to frame someone for something that happened when they were 9 years old? So Phoenix is like, heck yeah, we won, this is great. And then suddenly you hear objection.
Oh, great.
It's Miles. Miles is objecting. And he says, I may not have committed this murder, but I committed a different murder. And this is the last this is the last day for the DL6, for the last day before the statute of limitations is up on the DL6 case. And he said, I murdered my father.
Miles.
Yeah. So they have to take a recess because they're like, what the fuck? That's insane. And Manfred von Karma, strangely enough, seems to have been expecting this.
That's not murder. It's manslaughter at best.
Yeah, and it would technically be he was trying to defend his father and accidentally
Yeah, it's not murder.
It's
no matter
not
which
murder.
way you slice it.
It's not even really manslaughter. There's literally no reason he should be held culpable for this murder, even if he had committed it. Which again, Phoenix.
He was 9.
He was 9. And so they hold it, and Miles is like, right, I'm really sorry. You went to all of this work, and I've just wasted it because I'm going to go to jail anyways because their law system is fucked up. And Phoenix once again tells him, no, I don't believe your nightmare. And I'm going to prove it to you and to everybody else in court. So, this is when
the nightmare was partial.
The nightmare was partially true. What he saw and what he heard happened. Including the scream he heard. That's the key detail here.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, it wasn't Miles's dad who screamed.
Yeah,
So,
I kind of thought it might be a case of the other guy screaming. Maybe he got winged. Ah!
It actually wasn't him either.
Villagers.
Oh no.
Villagers! Get out of the way, fish!
So, the mystery that hasn't been explained yet in all of this is why Manfred von Karma wanted Miles to be convicted for murder. why he was expecting Miles to confess his guilt to this crime. What we also don't know is it is dang it, there was another piece. And what we have left is a singular piece of evidence from the DL6 case, which is the bullet that they extracted from Gregory Edgeworth's heart. The ballistic markings are still intact.
Impressive.
Yeah. Also, notably, I mentioned this earlier, but you might have forgotten because I only kind of offhandedly mentioned it. After that day in court that led to the DL6 incident, Manfred von Karma, who, you know, again, got his first and only, mark against him on his record due to Gregory Edgeworth, took a 6-month-long vacation. And I can't remember entirely how they came to the conclusion, but basically what they come to the conclusion of is that the only person who actually had the ability or the reason to do so would be Manfred von Karma.
Mm-hmm.
Now, so the reason the elevator broke and they were trapped in there for 5 hours is because there was an earthquake that day. I'd also like to say, canonically, Miles Edgeworth, when earthquakes happen in the series, will straight up have a panic attack and pass out half the time because of it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That's so rough.
I know, but props to them for actually thinking about how this would impact him long term.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Props for the PTSD representation, I guess.
Oh yeah. Miles got serious PTSD.
Sad.
Luckily, he does get help for it.
Yay.
Just not yet.
Ag.
Woof.
Well, he's, but, so basically what actually happened that day is Manfred von Karma passed out during that earthquake. And somewhere during those 5 hours, right at the last 10 minutes before the lights turned back on, Manfred von Karma walked past an elevator. In that elevator was Miles, of course, his father, and the bailiff, who were arguing. And as Manfred was walking by, that's when Miles threw the gun. And the gun went through the elevator door and hit Manfred von Karma in the shoulder.
Sheesh.
Miles
this
heard
man's
that
petty.
day. Oh yeah. And so this man, 10 minutes later, the elevator doors open with the return of the power, and he sees all 3 of them passed out in the elevator.
He got shot in the shoulder and decided to kill a kid's father over it.
Yes, but also because, Gregory ruined his perfect record in court.
Had he at that point already?
Huh?
Had he already?
Yeah. So earlier that day, his perfect record had been ruined, and then the dude who ruined his perfect record's son shoots him in the shoulder.
He's having a bad day, but it's a bit... It's still really petty.
Oh yeah, because Gregory ruins his perfect record, he murders Gregory, and because Miles shot him in the shoulder, he's going to torture a 9-year-old for the next 15 years.
He's so petty.
Yeah, but because he's perfect and he had to have a perfect crime, he decided he couldn't go to a doctor. So what he did was he went on a 6-month-long vacation and let the wound heal with the bullet still in his shoulder.
Someone get a really strong magnet.
Oh.
Guess what they have? Guess what Phoenix happens to have on him?
A really strong
It's
magnet?
a metal detector. No, a metal detector.
Okay, that's better.
And he's like, I request that you let me use this metal detector to check to see if you have a bullet in your shoulder.
Mm.
And he's like, wait, I do have a bullet in my shoulder, but it's from a different thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like,
Sure.
sure. And he's like, well, you can't prove that it was the same one from the DL6 case anyways. And he's like, sure I can. I have the bullet that was found in Gregory's heart, and the ballistic markings are still intact.
Yeah. Nothing quite like a set of twins.
Yeah. And then he screams. Like, Manfred von Karma screams and bashes his head repeatedly into his desk. Yelling about how all the Edgeworths had ruined his life and ruined everything he sought to build, and how it was only them, and that if they had never existed, he still would have been perfect.
Nobody's perfect, you dingus.
Oh,
Get
yeah.
over yourself.
Guess what? Guess who he passed his perfectionism issues on to? Both Miles and his daughter.
This man has a daughter.
Yeah, she's
That
great.
poor
We
kid.
love her. Her and Miles have a surprisingly wholesome brother-sister relationship in the later games.
Well, that's nice at least.
Yeah. Francesca von Karma, she's younger than Miles and is 17. Is 17 years old during this game, the first game.
Ah.
She's also a lawyer at this age.
That's impressive.
Oh yeah. Miles became a lawyer at the age of 19, so like they are very impressive. The whole lot of them. But yeah.
Sleep.
So Miles is suddenly like, wait a second, I recognize that scream. That was the scream I've been hearing in my nightmares for the past 15 years.
I mean, understandable reaction to getting shot.
Yeah. And so, Miles is proven innocent of both things. He didn't kill his father, and he didn't kill that lawyer. Woo!
Mm-hmm. Yay!
Yay! Unfortunately, he doesn't know how to deal with his trauma.
Therapy!
Not yet.
Dang it!
No, first he has to traumatize his childhood best friend.
Oh, yeah. I think I vaguely remember this from the 3-hour rant you went on.
Yeah. Yeah, Miles. So after this, there was a bonus case made like that specifically you find out about some of the like corruption in the prosecution office and stuff, which Miles didn't know about. Miles was actually given forged evidence by the chief prosecutor.
Huh.
And so some of his cases, he convicted innocent people without knowing it because he thought the evidence was real.
Well, at least his moral compass is intact as far as that goes.
Yeah, he actually has a very strong moral compass. He is very much like
he believes in what he's doing.
Yeah, it's very important to him. But this happens to be the final straw because again, this is like barely a couple months earlier. Like he had found out like that he didn't kill his father, and that his mentor, who like literally taught him how to be a prosecutor and everything, murdered his dad and was basically emotionally abusing him for years. So he decides, well, he fakes his death, but he fakes his death. He leaves a suicide note that says Miles Edgeworth chooses death.
Yikes.
And fucks off to Europe for the next year. Now, to be fair,
that's an extreme reaction.
Now, to be fair, when he wrote that note, he actually did plan on going through with the whole offing himself thing. He just I don't know why he didn't. I don't think you're ever explained why, but he disappears for a year and he doesn't tell anyone that he's alive. And in the second game, you get Phoenix refusing to let anyone even reference Miles's name.
Oh.
Like, he will not hear it. Like, and then right at Phoenix's like darkest moment, he has to defend someone who's guilty, because if he doesn't, his assistant who has been kidnapped at this point is going to be killed. So Phoenix is being blackmailed, and right at his lowest point when he's being blackmailed, fucking Miles shows up and is like, hey, so I thought you might need help.
Back from the dead?
Yeah. Now,
someone's gonna start screaming.
Oh, people do. Now, part of the reason he came back is also because the prosecutor on that case had been Francesca von Karma, Miles's sister, right? Adopted sister. And she had just gotten shot in the shoulder.
Father like daughter. I'm sorry.
Yeah. The irony is strong. So she's in the hospital. It can no longer be prosecutor. So Miles shows up and he's like, hey, do you need a prosecutor to help you? And Phoenix is literally like, oh my fucking goodness, it would have been better if you stayed dead.
Man!
Now,
drama!
He does apologize for saying that, because he didn't mean it, but also...
He was just having a really bad time.
Yeah, he had to defend someone he knew was guilty. His best friend and basically younger sister at this point had been kidnapped and was being held for ransom, and he couldn't go to the police because this dude had connections within the police. And then Miles shows up and Phoenix is like, oh my goodness, I can tell him because he's not a police officer. And he's been out of the country for a fucking year. So they win the case, woo, everything's fine. And then Miles fucks off back to Europe for another year.
Get some therapy.
It's implied that he does, because when he comes back once again another year later, he's in like a far more stable mental state, and he's like actually like able of expressing emotions and being emotionally intimate with people he cares about.
Yay!
Yay!
Yes. We love
Yippee,
character
love
growth.
Recovery.
Yeah. So like, woo, it's amazing. It's great. He's finally, getting better. He shows up though because Miles and Phoenix's mutual childhood friend, Larry Butts.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a lazy butt. He's one of those people who's constantly switching jobs, and always has a different girlfriend every single week, and kind of just never did anything with his life. But he's generally a good dude, despite this. But he gets a call from Larry Butts, and he's just like, Phoenix is dead.
What?
Yeah, Phoenix isn't dead. But Miles, because he's like, what the fuck do I do now? He buys a private jet and immediately takes a flight back to Japanifornia, where the games take place, only to find out that Phoenix is alive.
That's It's dick move.
Yeah.
Dick move.
Yeah. Now, to be fair, Phoenix probably should have been dead.
Did someone put a hit on him?
No, more like he ran onto a bridge that was actively on fire and then fell into the water when he knew he was unable to swim.
Why can't he swim?
I don't know. He just can't. He never learned how to swim.
I mean, I can't exactly hold it against him too much. I'm a Sonic fan.
Valid.
Over 30 years, and the guy's never learned to swim.
Hey, at this point, he's still 25. He's 26. He's 26 at this point. He's not 30 yet.
I don't know about it. Are you talking about the right characters still, or Sonic?
Oh, sorry, I totally forgot that Sonic couldn't swim either.
Yes, that's the joke I was making.
Yep, ignore me. I completely forgot that detail.
Sorry.
But yeah, no. So but no, Phoenix got out of that with a concussion and a fever.
Sure. It's anime.
Yeah. To be fair, he also gets hit by a car at some point and walks out of it with only a broken ankle, so
I mean, it's surprising how much people can actually withstand physically.
yeah, but like he also at one point in one of his cases got hit over the head with a fire extinguisher, and the only thing he had was temporary amnesia, and he still managed to get his defendant found not guilty without any of his memories.
Okay, that's dangerously close to Mary Sue territory, but at the same time, it's a Phoenix Wright game. It's all BS.
It is a running joke at this point that he is physically incapable of dying like a phoenix.
Huh. Sure, why not?
It is a running thing with this game that he cannot die, and like people start commenting on it eventually in the games. Like, there are so many different situations when he should die, especially also when he got tased by like Manfred von Karma, because like he says how many like volts the taser is, and it's enough to actually stop a grown man's heart.
Those aren't supposed to be able to do that.
Yeah, but like he totally modified it, let's be real.
Yeah, he would have to.
Yeah. Actually, that one, it's more impressive, honestly, that his assistant survived that, because she's like this really petite 17-year-old.
I guess she got lucky with the path the electricity took.
Apparently. Especially seeing as she basically jumped on the taser in an effort to try and protect Phoenix.
Ah.
Yeah.
Karma was on her side.
Yeah. Honestly, I say her sister probably saved her life, because her dead sister, who's a spirit, probably saved her life, let's be real.
Yay, ghosts conduct electricity.
Yay.
Yay.
Whee!
Whee. I mean, like, yeah, but, so, there's a lot of things. Phoenix also, is perfectly fine after being whipped into unconsciousness twice.
Whipped unconscious?
Yeah, though that one was played for laughs. That was supposed to be, like, comedic. Francesca von Karma, is great, and we love her. But she also has this thing where she likes to whip people she thinks are foolish, and she happens to think Phoenix Wright is the most foolish fool to have ever lived.
The most foolish fool to have ever fooled around.
Exactly. She also thinks that her brother is an even bigger foolish fool for caring about the foolish fool that is Phoenix. Because they're so obviously gay for each other, it's like painful. But yeah, no, Phoenix, like, so Miles is doing pretty good. Actually, he gets his own spin-off game series in there as well. Which I love. I love the investigation games, though the second one is the only one of the Phoenix games that never got an English translation.
Dang it. Fans, get on
Yeah.
that.
There is an unofficial translation. I just haven't figured out how to get access to it yet. But yeah, no, the investigation games, the first Miles Edgeworth investigation game, the only way you can play it is on your iPhone.
Lame.
Yeah. That is the only way to play it in English.
Woof.
And I haven't bought the full game yet, but I've bought the first episode of the Miles investigation game on my iPad because it's Phoenix, right? It's Ace Attorney. I love Ace Attorney.
Valid. Honestly, just hearing it was secondhand was enough. I see why people like this thing.
Yeah, and that's only Miles Edgeworth's backstory. This isn't accounting for, like, literally Maya's backstory, Phoenix Wright's backstory, Apollo Justice's backstory, Calvir Gavin's, Christoph Gavin, Trucy Wright.
A lot of backstories.
Yeah. That's the other thing, is that Phoenix becomes a dad at one point, eventually in the games, and it's great.
This thing's a soap opera with the staging and framing of court cases.
Yes. Though, I will say, is it's actually cool, because, like I said, their law system seemingly makes no sense, right?
Well, of course not. It's a soap opera.
Yeah, but they do actually have, like, a reasoning for that in the later games.
Ooh, retroactive world building.
Yeah, and it comes down to mass amounts of corruption, really, but, like, they actively, there is a point in the timeline that is officially called the Dark Age of Law. Which is basically
Badass
when
name.
Phoenix Wright gets disbarred. For accidentally using forged evidence. Yeah. So Phoenix Wright gets disbarred, and then immediately, now unemployed, adopts a daughter.
Aw.
It's adorable. Their relationship is adorable. Trucy Wright is a sweetheart, and we love her. But also, he should have never been allowed to adopt a child.
Yeah.
He was barely making ends meet when he was a lawyer.
Anime protagonist.
Anime protagonist. The commonly accepted fanon is that Miles Edgeworth, with his stupid amount of money, probably helped him.
Kid got two dads.
Yes. Well, there's also unofficially both Miles and Phoenix have their own separate groups of adopted children. Because a lot of the characters and a lot of the people that end up being the characters' assistants in the games, because they usually have one character that kind of plays an assistant role and helps them with everything, and the vast majority of the time it's a child. Very smart children. Very, very smart children. Also, usually children who have either been accused of murder, had their parents murdered, had their parents be some form of corrupt prosecutor or lawyer. Or all three.
Go figure.
Yeah. These poor children.
Indeed.
But yeah, they're not even to mention that the games are technically supposed to be considered somewhat realistic, but then you have things like spirit channeling and the fact that Trucy Wright is you physically are in both Trucy Wright and Apollo Justice are living and walking, talking lie detectors.
Yeah.
You physically can't lie to them because they immediately know.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing that can only really exist in fiction, because there's so many ways to lie in real life.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's this cool person, I can't remember what their channel name was, but they did videos where they talked about they deciphered body language and stuff and talked about tells for lying and stuff, but also about how even when people who are like trained to be able to tell when others are lying and stuff like that, it still can only ever be up to 80% accurate.
Yeah.
Which is fascinating.
Yeah, it's because people are so diverse.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's also the cultural stuff which would affect things.
Yes. Like, there's an element to telling if people are lying or are, like, you know, being truthful with their intentions or not that comes down to you have to know the person already fairly well to be able to, because everyone has a different tell.
Yeah. Basically, you need to figure out how the person sounds when they're telling the truth, and if it's not that, then you can tell they're lying.
Yeah. Notably with like the living, walking, talking lie detectors, Apollo Justice, at least, he doesn't necessarily notice that they're lying, but he notices whatever their tell is. Like, he just instinctively can always tell what someone's nervous, like, tick is for when they're lying. Which turns out to be because of genetics, but, there's a lot of stuff. There's, like, I don't even know how to explain some of the stuff that happens in a concise way, because there isn't.
Yeah. But I mean, you're pretty good at telling the stories.
Yeah.
Like, we've straight up started using the Minecraft chat because we don't want to interrupt.
Oh no, you guys could have interrupted me.
We're having a good time not interrupting you.
Okay.
Think
You
this
don't
is
have
the
to
way?
though.
Tell the story.
Hmm?
Tell the stories.
This is the way.
Tell the story. Okay. I guess Phoenix Wright probably makes the most sense to explain.
Ooh.
Ye.
Squid.
Blue squid. So, the thing about Phoenix Wright is that he's like, he's a dumbass. We love him, but he's kind of a dumbass all of the time.
Yeah, I think that's part of his appeal, isn't it?
Yeah. He also has massive dad energy that only became more so after he, you know, like,
Actually
adopted
wound
a
up
child.
being a dad.
Yeah, but even before that, he was
that
infused-
spider.
Ugh.
Sorry. Startled me.
Valid.
Die.
Even before then, he had like massive dad energy, and he constantly got called old by his friend Maya, and he's like, "I'm 24," and she's like, "Yeah, you're old."
Yeesh.
AKA, it sounds like me and my younger siblings talking because they like to call me ancient. I'm not that old.
No, you're not.
But, you know, apparently, in comparison to them, I'm ancient. But, yeah. So he's always had big dad energy. He also has chronic back pain.
Oof.
Oh, dear.
Which is just, and, like, is mostly used specifically so people can crack jokes about him being, like, an old man, despite being, like, in his mid-20s. But so in the third grade, the reason why he said he like owed Miles like a debt is because when they were in the third grade, Phoenix got accused of stealing a kid's lunch money.
That doesn't seem like a very Phoenix thing to do.
No, because he didn't steal it. It was Larry Butts. Larry Butts stole it, but they don't find that one out until after they find out that after the Phoenix proves that Miles is innocent. So when they were children, they never found out that Larry was the one who stole the money. Yeah. But yeah, when he was a kid, he gets accused because he was sick, so he had to sit out during gym. And during that time, a kid's lunch money goes missing. So the kids decide to hold a class trial. The teacher also agrees to this for some fucking reason.
Probably good practice, and it's something that she didn't have to come up with.
Probably, but she's also a dick, and I kind of hate this teacher.
Fair.
And she only gets like 2 lines in the whole game.
Dang.
Yeah. So, trial happens, and basically, instead of being given any opportunity to explain why he didn't do it, all of them basically just yell at him that he's guilty and call him names and basically say everything except tell him to off himself.
Yikes.
Yeah. And then he was told he had to go and apologize to the kid who he apparently stole money from. So he goes up to Miles Edgeworth to apologize. And Miles stops him and says, "Why are you apologizing? You didn't do it, right?" And he's like, "Right." And he's like, "Good, then smile, because justice will be done." Like a fucking...
Aw.
That's so cute.
Then Miles yells, "Objection, this is a sham of a court," basically. He, like...
Already
he
taking
shows
after
where-
his dad.
Yeah, he is. He basically, like, lectures the entire class and his teacher about it. And
Good.
yeah, and he's like, "I'm going to tell my dad about this as well," which, good for him. Because, like, that is not how the teacher should have been handling it, because the teacher literally said, "Phoenix, you know, you have to apologize, you have to apologize because, you know, you deserve, like, people being mean to you because you stole," is basically what this lady says. And then she...
Oh, that's some that's
Yeah.
some Japanese culture right there.
I mean, yeah. Again, they live in the fictional country of... the fictional place of Japanifornia.
That's about as good as San Francisco.
Yeah. Yeah. They specifically picked that because, like, they got people who made the game specifically wanted the ability to make fun of both the Japanese and the American legal system.
Honestly, completely valid and
Oh,
deserved.
Yeah. But yeah, so basically that's that. And after that, Miles, Phoenix, and Larry, who also happens to be the only other person to stand up for Phoenix, became best friends.
Amazing.
Friendship.
Yeah. 6 months later, over Christmas though, Miles's dad gets murdered and he moves to Germany. So, you know, but yeah, that's what Phoenix felt like he had to, you know, that's the debt he had to repay.
That is some
I mean,
loyalty.
that's a formative experience if I ever heard one.
Oh yeah, Phoenix in the games, when he explains the story, Larry is like, "Oh yeah, I barely remember that," and Miles is like, "Wait, that? I had totally forgotten about that up until now." And Phoenix is like, "Yeah, because it wasn't traumatizing for you guys."
Uh-huh. Yeah,
But
that
yeah,
sounds about right.
And he also said that's
Right.
part of the reason why he became a defense attorney.
Aw.
The full reason for why he became a defense attorney is far funnier and very gay.
Beautiful.
He got inspired by Edgelord. Edgeman, what's his name?
Miles Edgeworth.
Edgeworth.
Though Larry Butt specifically calls him edgy.
Yes.
Yeah. So Mr. Miles Edgy Edgeworth became a prosecutor when he was 19. Now, Phoenix at the age of 19 was an art student in university. And he found a newspaper article. And in that newspaper article, it explained how Miles was the demon prosecutor, right? And there was
Mhm.
suspicions of like forgery and like all sorts of stuff around him. And Phoenix just was like, he seems like he needs help.
Aw.
I'm going to become a lawyer just so I can help him because he refuses to respond to my letters I keep sending him. So the only way to make him talk to me is to become a defense attorney, so he's forced to.
Yes.
I completely believe that.
Yeah. Now,
That
this
is
isn't
so funny.
Now, this wasn't like entirely his reasoning. There was one other reason, specifically his mentor, Maya Fey, got. Another thing that happens when Phoenix is 19 is Phoenix gets accused of murder.
Fun.
Fun.
Yeah. Phoenix is, he's 19. He has a girlfriend who he is in love with.
Hmm.
Oh.
She calls him Feeny, and he calls her Dolly.
Oh. I'm sorry.
Her name is Dahlia Hawthorne.
That's so
started-
dumb and cute.
Becomes a lot less cute really, really fast.
You know, I believe you.
So, Dahlia Hawthorne, after stealing poison from her ex-boyfriend, who happened to be a pharmaceutical student, which is why he had access to poison, by the way, and also happened to be the reason why she was dating him, goes and poisons this dude, and this guy, he ends up in a coma for the next, 5 years, I think it was. He's not important right now.
Of course not. He's in a coma.
Yeah, he's not important until he starts throwing hot coffee at Phoenix when Phoenix is 25.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah. But she poisons this dude. And then she's like, oh crap, I've gotta get rid of the evidence. Now the poison she was keeping in this glass bottle that was on a necklace. So she spots Phoenix Wright in the school library and goes up to him and I don't know if she knew he had a crush on her or if they had ever, or even if they had ever met before this. I literally can't remember, but she basically comes up to him with this necklace and is like, here, take this necklace as a token of my love for you. Again, this is the first time they've talked to each other at the very least. Possibly the first time Phoenix has even seen this girl. And he is head over heels in love.
Of course.
Now,
yeah, that sounds in character.
Yeah, we love him. He's like,
he's a dumbass.
Yeah, he's a dumbass. And he cares very deeply, very quickly about anyone who shows him any spark of kindness at all. Yeah. Now the thing is, Dahlia, she didn't actually intend on letting him keep this necklace.
That wasn't very smart of her then.
Yeah, because she asked for it back, and Phoenix is thinks she's joking. Because obviously they're in love. Yeah. And she decides she's gonna have to murder him as well.
Nice.
However, Dahlia happened to have a identical twin sister named Iris Hawthorne. Now, Iris was really scared about the path her sister was going down, and so she decided to she decided to beg like Dahlia, like, hey, here, I'll figure out how to get the necklace back without having to kill him. And she's like, fine, but you have to pretend to be me and date him while trying to figure it out. So now Phoenix may have been dating Dahlia, but he also was probably dating Iris for a good portion of that relationship as well.
Great.
It lasts about 9 months before Dahlia gets sick of waiting for her sister to figure out how to get this necklace back. And Iris at this point is kind of sort of fallen in love with Phoenix because he's a sweetheart.
Go figure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
soap opera.
Yeah. Now, Phoenix has a cold. Okay, it's been 9 months. He has a cold. All of the important things in his life seem to happen when he's sick.
Well, naturally.
Yeah. And his girlfriend brings him some cold medicine. Aw, that's sweet. Yeah. But during this, Dahlia's ex-boyfriend, the one she stole poison from, she stole poison from him again. And he decided he had to warn Phoenix because he's like, shit. And Phoenix, because he's a lovable buffoon and he's physically incapable of believing that the people he loves can do bad things, gets really offended. He's like, fuck you, my Dolly would never. And shoves him. Now, Dahlia sees this happen and then decides that she has to now get rid of her ex-boyfriend because he's too close to the truth. So she murders her ex-boyfriend and then steals the cold medicine. And steals the cold medicine she gave to Phoenix and plants it in her ex-boyfriend's hand. And now everyone believes that Phoenix murdered him. Also, it turns out that cold medicine was poisoned.
Yeah, go figure. Sorry,
Yeah.
just got bad jump scared by thunder.
Oof, that's fair.
We're deep underground. Stuff's not supposed to make that much noise.
Valid. Valid. But yeah, so now,
also, my inventory is full.
But yes, so Phoenix has been accused of murder. His girlfriend has, basically set him up to take the fall for her multiple murders. And Phoenix is still 100% in love with her and totally believes she could never harm a fly. Cue Maya Fey, who shows up and is like, yo, I'll take your case. I'll find you proven not guilty. And this is his other reason for wanting to become a lawyer, is because he wanted to be like Maya Fey and, find and help people who are at their lowest, right? I'd also like to say the vast majority of cases Phoenix takes, like in the games, are pro bono. Which is why
he's having
he's like
difficulty making ends meet.
Yeah, is because he has a bleeding heart.
Depending on who he loves, that might be ending up literal.
Yeah, it does end literally, unfortunately. Kind of. So, remember, he still has this glass necklace that is still evidence of a previous crime Dahlia committed. He wears it everywhere, and he likes to show it off to people because look at this symbol of my undying, our undying love or whatever. And Maya, the reason Maya decides to take his case isn't entirely altruistic. Now, she did want to help this poor dude, but it's also because her boyfriend and law partner was poisoned and sent into a coma. by Dahlia.
Uh-huh.
Yep. So, they lay out all of this evidence. They're trying to prove that Dahlia is guilty, and the only thing they need now is that necklace. Except Phoenix, because he refuses to believe that Dahlia could ever hurt him, decides that because this obviously fake evidence is going to be used against his dolly, he decides to eat the necklace.
Oh dear. I
The
mean, that's
glass
perfectly
necklace.
dumbass in character for him, and I love it, but oh dear.
Yeah, he eats this entirely glass necklace that has traces of a deadly poison in it and comes out fine.
Honestly, depending on stuff, the necklace might have come out fine too.
Yeah. Yeah, so besides, cutting his mouth open, he was fine. And then Dolly ends up,
Why would it cut his mouth open?
he literally had to chew up the glass to swallow it. It was a big bottle. This was not a little vial. This was a really big glass heart.
Good grief.
This man.
Yeah, but
that's not how glass works. Don't eat glass.
Don't eat glass. It's not good for you.
No, his insides ought to be sliced to ribbons. What is
yeah,
this man?
Phoenix.
a phoenix.
Ah!
He's right. And yeah, so after that, Mia takes him in as her mentee, and he switches to being fully to being a law student and becomes a lawyer because of A, Miles, and B, because, he got accused for murder.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Dahlia also ends up on death row and dies a couple years later.
Huh.
That is actually important.
Okay.
So,
Here's hoping it wasn't secretly the good twin.
No, Iris is still alive. Though Phoenix at this point in time does not find out that Dahlia ever had a twin sister, or that he was actually dating Iris for pretty much their entire relationship. He's still he doesn't find this out until he's 25. No, 26.
Dang.
Yeah. Poor man. He also finds out in the worst possible way because he finds out that Dahlia and Iris were related to his mentor and his mentor's younger sister, who had basically become his younger sister. They're cousins. Though Mia did not know this, to be fair. Neither did Maya. So it was a surprise to all of them.
How about that?
Yeah. But yeah, so, that was... So after that, Phoenix becomes a lawyer, he saves Miles, so he accomplishes his goal for when he became a lawyer, only to then, believe he failed at his goal because he believes Miles offed himself. Poor man.
Very poor man.
Yeah. All sorts of stuff happens, him and Miles reconnect. They have this really big emotional scene after Miles thought Phoenix died. Where Phoenix is like, I need you to play defense attorney because that's totally legal. For this case because I can't go there and defend my client and you're the only person I trust.
Oh.
So Miles goes and plays defense attorney. That also happened to be the case when he found out that his ex-girlfriend actually had a twin sister that he was probably dating for the majority of the relationship. Because his ex-girlfriend decides to fuck with him from beyond the grave.
Oh.
Of course she does.
That's kind of rude.
Now, it's not specifically Phoenix that she was trying to fuck with. She was trying to fuck with Mia, his mentor. Of course, his mentor is already dead at this point because she was murdered. Yeah.
So much murder.
So much murder. So instead they decide to fuck with Maya's younger sister, Maya, who also happens to be Phoenix's adopted younger sister, basically. And they decide to do this by getting an 8-year-old girl to do it. That poor child. So basically, you know, Dahlia's spirit is basically working alongside Maya and Maya's aunt, whose name is Morgan Fay. So
Morgan the Fay.
Morgan Fay is her name, like Morgan Le Fay. Yeah. Yeah, she's like, this woman is I hate her more than just about any other character besides maybe Christopher Gavin. And that's solely because she decided to try and get her 9-year-old daughter to murder her cousin.
Sheesh.
Yeah. They're not.
If you're
There's a
going to
lot
commit murder, do it yourself, you coward.
Oh, yeah.
Do your own dirty work.
Yeah. I don't know quite as much about that case because I don't know all of the details of it, and I still haven't gotten around to playing through it. But I know the general details, which is why I know all of this stuff. But it's my goodness, is so. Yeah. But then, Phoenix, not too long later after all of this happens, takes on the case for a magician. This magician decides to hire him specifically because Phoenix beat him at poker. Phoenix is very good at poker.
That is
really good.
Weird.
No, it's actually surprisingly in character since his style, his defense strategy is to bluff his way into figuring out what he's doing. He'll be
yeah, that does make sense.
He's literally no, I need to cross-examine the parrot because it's totally a key witness. And then it turned out the parrot actually was a key witness.
He's definitely a Mary Sue sort of character. The universe arranges itself to make sense around his actions.
Yeah, but he also, unfortunately, quite literally stumbles into crime and murder scenes on a regular basis, so...
It's just the nature of this universe, I suppose.
Yeah, and just about everyone who gets close to him gets accused of murder at some point in time.
I mean, that does actually sound kind of logical for his job.
Yeah. The number of lawyers and stuff that get accused of murder is insane. But yeah, so man beats this dude at poker because he's really good at poker. And so the magician decides to hire him. Now, the magician also happens to have a daughter. Her name is Tracy. aka Phoenix's future adopted daughter. Yeah. So he takes on the case, and, it's a complicated one, but he's sure of his client's innocence because he always is. And he has this thing about believing his clients 100%, whatever they say. So when Trucy, who is by proxy his client, comes to him saying she has an important piece of evidence for him, he believes her. What he does not know is this evidence is forged and was specifically given to Trucy to give to him, specifically to get him disbarred.
Huh.
Yep.
Forged evidence. Great.
Yeah. So Phoenix loses his badge. Trucy's father, like her bio dad, convinces her into helping him escape the like police through a magic act, and then he abandons Trucy.
Man.
Yep. And tells her that she can trust Phoenix. Which, he's not wrong, but like, so he did one good thing with his life, at least. I don't like her bio father, but so after this, Phoenix is just like, well, shit, she has no family. She literally was raised by a troupe of traveling magicians.
Huh.
And so he adopts her. He has no job, but he adopts her, and he then goes on to become a card shark.
I mean, if you got the skills, you might as well use it.
Yeah, I'd like to say...
You gotta eat.
I'd like to mention, I'm pretty sure it's illegal in the city his character lives in to do that, though. Man goes from being literally a lawyer to illegally playing poker. Officially,
What part of it is illegal?
I think I can't remember exactly what it is, but it's even if it's not illegal, it's a very shady business. Like,
yeah,
even if what he isn't doing is specifically illegal, something that's happening, like going on behind the scenes, is very much illegal at the very least.
I mean, yeah, casinos.
It's not even a casino. No, it's
Bars,
the basement
stuff.
in a really shady bar where he plays piano.
So I guess he can play piano too.
No.
Okay.
Nice.
No, he can't play piano.
Ah, yes, he's an expert at the player piano.
Yeah. He also, has to bring Trucy with him when he has particularly difficult clients in poker, because she's able to tell when people are lying. So he has her sit near him, and she basically lets him know when people are lying so that he can win. So that might be the illegal part, to be fair.
Yeah, that's technically, I'm pretty sure, cheating.
That it very much is.
I mean, poker on a regular is like a skill thing, but getting someone else to use their liar detection skills instead of your own, that's definitely cheating, especially when they aren't playing.
Yeah. Now, that is not to say that Phoenix isn't good at poker by itself. Like, he is, like, insanely good. Like, he's,
Yeah, it's still cheating.
Oh, no, it totally is. But also, again, this man is, like, barely making ends meet and is actively being surveyed by the person who got him disbarred. Now, whether or not Phoenix knew that this guy was, whether or not he suspected or even knew that Christoph Gavin is the reason he got disbarred is heavily up for debate amongst the fandom. So we don't actually know if Phoenix was doing the whole keep your enemies close, like your friends close but your enemies closer kind of thing, or if it was he genuinely thought this dude was just trying to help him out and be friends with him. That's one of the things we don't have a lot of information on, but he spends the next 7 years disbarred, again being a card shark for a casino, and he gains a reputation amongst, kind of in this area for being practically unbeatable, which is why he's able to make so much money, is because he gets like these people who are like, I'm going to, dethrone this random hobo looking guy, because he at this point, instead of wearing a nice law suit, is wearing this like this blue hoodie, like no, not hoodie, blue hat and like hoodie with sweatpants.
At
Yeah.
least it's comfy.
Yeah, you actually, if you look at his sprite for when he was disbarred, you actually can notice that his shirt underneath his hoodie is like really crumpled up and wrinkled. Yeah, like the attention to detail is great. He also has like a scruff, like he hasn't shaved in a couple days, kind of going on. And he's generally, he's not doing good.
Yeah.
During this, though, he's also secretly working to try and find out who disbarred him, to get his badge back, prove, like, his own innocence, but also to, fix the really corrupt law system. Because the reason why because, like, to be disbarred, he had to, the, Bar Association basically had to vote to say, yeah, you know what, this is unacceptable, you lose your badge. And all of them, except for one person, said he was guilty.
Yeah, that's really suspicious considering him and his career.
Yeah, seeing as he has, at this point in time, revealed two separate, like, conspiracies, like, corruption conspiracies in the city.
Well, that would be why they wanted to get rid of him.
I mean, yeah. But, the one person who didn't vote for him was a man by the name of Christoph Gavin. Fuck Christoph Gavin, we don't like him in this household.
Okay.
Shady-ass man who manipulates children for his own gain.
Yikes.
Yeah. So the prosecutor on the case where Phoenix accidentally used forged evidence happened to be Christoph's younger brother, Calvier Gavin. I'm probably not pronouncing that right. It's the German word for piano.
Honestly, I don't know that much German.
That's fair. Yeah, I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right. I'm just kind of guessing. But yeah. Yeah, somehow Calvier, the prosecutor, he knew that Phoenix was going to present forged evidence, probably because his brother tipped him off. Now, Calvier is totally innocent in this, like, he didn't know what was happening. This was his very first case as a prosecutor, and he trusted his brother, who happened to be a fairly famous defense attorney. Christoph Gavin, who was on the Bar Association, voted that Phoenix should get to keep his badge, and then instated himself as Phoenix's friend for the next 7 years. Only to, after 7 years, get him accused of murder. Yeah. So, what happens there is Trucy's bio father comes back. After 7 years, having just disappeared off the face of the earth, he comes back to speak to Phoenix. And then he ends up murdered.
Oh dear. Hate to interrupt, but
yeah,
Reaper's lost.
Oh
no. Hang on.
Do you know what coordinates home is for you?
No, it's not that. It's that it's the tunnel. I can't find the tunnel that I used to get here.
Yeah, that's part of the reason why I put so many torches around the one part of the tunnel. But if you can at least get to the surface, I can get you coordinates to back home. I'm still at home. And I needed to take a fishing break after the thunder.
Oh, that's fair.
Valid.
Well, I found a cave that we've been in before, so if I identify which cave it is... Oh! Found my way back. Nice.
Yay!
Unintentionally.
Yay!
Yay.
Woo.
maybe time for a break from the...
I think
All
it's
that.
almost time to wrap up the stream.
Yeah,
That's fair.
yeah, 3 hours.
Wowza.
Yep. Congratulations on doing another 3-hour rant on Phoenix Wright. Thank you for the entertainment.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Happy
enjoyed
to
it.
provide it. It's always good to have people who want to listen to me rant about Phoenix Wright.
Yes, we're totally not cheating it by having you rant about things on our live stream.
Not at all.
Nah.
It wasn't giants, but hey, it was still a rant, and I can deal with that.
Yeah. Apologize that my brain blanked out on the Giants, because, like...
That's
All
okay.
good.
Your Phoenix Wright brain was loaded.
It's been, like, all I've been focused on for the past week.
Ah, gotta love that hyperfocus.
Yeah.
Maybe on another occasion we will get the full dissertation on giants.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wonder how much iron I got this trip.
All the iron.
Iron.
Hybrid.
Already. I got a stack in 2.
Nice.
Mm.
Ah!
Hmm?
You bumped into me and scared me.
Feeling a little on edge.
A little. I might have had too much energy drink.
That would do it.
Been using up the lava, I see.
I've been making dried kelp, and I don't know why. It's what my brain decided to do. I'm getting
Nice.
experience and levels, though, so I can do enchanting for us.
Okay. I
I also did fishing.
okay. Just
I have
remember.
fish.
Just remember to use the lava farm to replenish the lava.
Yeah, I was about to do that. Hey.
I just did it here,
Uh-huh.
but there's one there. If you,
I specifically waited so that all 6 of them were full, so it would be really satisfying to go from one end to the other.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, you didn't know. Yeah.
Crunch.
Crunch.
Downside of the signs being editable now. I'll accidentally hit the sign instead of the chest.
Yep.
Oof.
Also, if I end up needing to if we need to expand the lava farm, just let me know.
Okay. And yeah, and instead of moving the lava farm, we seem to have just made another one.
No, I moved it.
I need to update the map.
Oh yeah, the map won't update until like you pick it up.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot.
Fair.
Hello, Freddy. Keeps timing it really well. Like, I'll just get to the exit waterfall and and then he'll growl at me. It's like you
Yeah.
can tell I'm there.
Yeah.
He doesn't want you to forget about him.
Hey, he's pretty unforgettable. I mean, aside from the fact that we spent more than a year away from this server and I completely forgot.
Nice.
It's not his fault.
No.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's a way. There's probably a way. I'll figure out a way.
Hmm.
A way to automate the collection of lava from the lava farm.
Hmm.
Yeah, that was something that I had to figure out how to do in the create mod thing.
Hmm.
Remarkably convoluted.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if there is a way to do it in vanilla.
I can try. Off camera, of
I
course.
wish you luck.
Thank you.
Ye-
Trying to make an automated lava farm sounds like a fun challenge.
Yeah, I'm thinking dispensers, buckets, and observers.
I
I mean, that might do it.
wonder if I can make one that would work in Bedrock.
That's
Good
just
luck.
another added challenge level, honestly. It's like,
Yeah,
Welcome to my
Bedrock.
life.
can you make a farm of
Bedrock
this?
is Minecraft hard mode
Yeah,
without the permadeath.
Yeah.
yeah. Ah. I see.
Ye-
Eek.
Eep time.
Sleepity
Eek
sleep.
time.
And now, ending time.
Yeah. We can actually do it on our beds again.
Mm-hmm. Well, everyone, thank you for joining us.
Yes.
Bye-bye. Oh.
This has been a lovely stream.
Yes,
Got
I
to-
hope you found it just right.
Indeed.
Indeed.
We hope to see you in the future, and if you've watched like the whole stream on YouTube, thank you, and
Yes, thank you.
hope you enjoyed
Like
it.
and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Yes, like and subscribe if you enjoyed this. If you didn't enjoy it, don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you didn't enjoy it, how did you get this far in?
Uh-huh. Thank you
Like
for your
and
time
subscribe,
anyway,
it's free.
but
Yeah.
maybe
No.
find someone else that's more your type of content.
Yes.
No hard feelings.
None whatsoever.
Hmm.
Well then.